Hello and welcome to the MBS Reviews. I'm your host Norman Sanzo, and finally we're back here doing this review thing after a while. And joining me today is Silver-Quill.
I have traveled through time by going to the other side of the world.
Ooh, discover anything new?
I have discovered that there's a saying in Iceland. If you're lost in an Icelandic forest, stand up.
And also joining us is Sapphire Heartsong.
My birthday comes up the day after this podcast. I demand be treated like royalty. No, I'm kidding. I'm glad to be back. I missed you people.
Yay.
So you want us to make you pancakes?
Actually, that would be nice.
Would you like making bacon pancakes?
Yes.
But anywho, besides talking about food aside, today we are going to review Season 7, Episode 10, A Royal Problem. In this episode, Starlight Glimmer is sent by the Cutie Map to solve a friendship problem between Princess Celestia and Princess Luna, which she attempts to do. You know what, I'm not going to read that part because it's spoilers. But anywho, first impressions are in order. And Silver, my friend, what do you think?
Oh, I adored this episode. It was so much fun to see Celestia and Luna, one, being less than perfect, being, characters, and having a sisterly spat. And then it was fun to see what entailed when they traded jobs. I won't go further on that because, like you say, spoilers. Although if you haven't seen this yet, why not? And honestly, I think Starlight is the only character who could have helped make this episode work. Fans will always scream foul when she does anything, everything. But at the end of the day, I think she has been a good contribution to the show. I'd just like to see her interact with the main cast more. And Twilight is both a strength and a weakness in this episode, bringing lots of humor, but also after a while you're like, geez, Twilight, take a chill pill.
True that.
You best check yourself first you wreck yourself.
Yo, hip-hop lingo, yo.
For shizzle, my grizzles.
Oh God, no.
Alright, and
dang it, Norman, why?
Oh, dizam.
Because the show's going to go hip-hop, y'all. The whiteness is showing.
I'm going to die.
But anywho, Seppi, what do you think of this episode?
I also adored this episode, although seeing Luna in the morning made me appreciate her just a little bit more. That is me in the morning. I am not a morning person, despite my love for Celestia. But I love the episode. It was humorous. Totally had a Freaky Friday vibe, because that's kind of the story it was based on, but still. I enjoyed the characters and whatnot. That's pretty much it.
Alrighty then. And as for me, this episode was fun. Before doing this review, I've seen this episode about 4 times now. And it's gotten better and it's gotten more fun. After each watch, you'll notice a few things. After people telling you, hey, did you notice this? And rewatching again and noticing it, it's like, oh wow, this is amazing. This is fun. Like, this is a really fun episode.
Indeed it is.
But anywho, if you guys at home have not watched this episode, pause this episode here and go watch it. Because we are going to go full spoilers. And welcome back. So anywho, we start off with the Cutie Map.
And the most epic of Twilight faces.
Yes.
Yeah.
That face and that spike reaction there is top. But yeah, the thing is, the Cutie Map is calling for Starlight. And what? This never happened before. What?
How could this happen to me? I've made my
mistakes.
I don't know the rest of the song.
Wow. But still, this is a sign of...
Got nowhere to run.
This is a sign of what to expect in future episodes. And okay, the map's calling for Starlight because she is the only pony to solve this problem. And yeah, she's excited for it. She's amped up until Twilight psychs her out of it. Great job, Twilight. So after telling Starlight that, hey, I hope you don't mess it up because you're going to help the princesses with stuff. I do hope that you don't screw this up in any shape or form, Starlight. And we cut to the intro. Yay. So what do you guys think of this intro setup here? Like, does it explain well of what's going to happen?
Well, it explains why Starlight's doing this Asolo Mio. Asolo Mio, something Italian sounding. But the big fear I had at the time was that, well, is Starlight going to be the only one who gets called? I mean, it's one thing to have her be the new on-call pony, but I'd love to see it if other characters were summoned as well. Even if you mix and match with a few of the other ponies.
And in future episodes, we do get that. Like, Spike, for example. Like, that would be something that that would be something we talk about in the future. But yeah, Spike does get called by the map too.
Yes, yeah. I was relieved when that happened. Although, triple threat, slight spoiler warning, he's called to stop the friendship problem he caused. I mean,
it's a Spike episode. It's a Spike episode. What do you expect?
That's so mean.
But still.
Why are you so mean, man?
But still.
Why you be so rude?
But I do like, the setup here where it built a narrative or it built a lore to the map where now after it got fixed by Twilight and Starlight, after what Starlight did with the map, it's on the fritz and it can call anybody. So, okay?
I'm all for it being on the fritz. I mean, although here's the funny thing. Because of this episode and Spike, the main six don't do any map missions this season. What does that say?
I got no idea. Maybe.
We're ditching the main six in order to develop these other characters.
Well, I think next week when we talk about issue 51 to 53 of the My Little Pony comics, we'll have more to touch upon. But for now, let's continue on with this current thing we're doing. So the current thing we're doing is we head to Canterlot and meet the two sisters. And yeah, it's clear that they too don't see eye to eye. Like, Celestia is the cheerful princess. Like, oh, there's nothing wrong. Is that right, sister? Yes, everything's fine. And you get your moon princess who's grumpy and mopey. It's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Grumpy Luna is best.
I actually liked Luna this episode just because of how grumpy she is. It's like, that is me. That is me right there. I can relate.
And we move on ahead, and we head to Starlight's room in Canterlot. And Twilight is somehow there, and she transmogrified herself into a ballet soundbox thingy, $4.99 only on Hasbro.
Where is the Nutcracker? Where's he?
Yeah, really, where is he?
Or the Tin Soldier. There we go. Get her a Tin Soldier.
Oh, God.
Hey, Flash. You're on call.
Ah.
Oh, wow. But anywho, after telling the lowdown to Twilight, Twilight here seems biased to the fact that, oh no, you gotta be wrong. Princess Celestia's perfect. She's the best. There's no way that she could do any wrong.
Oh yeah, when Twilight says, you just said princesses are not the best. They're like, wow, that's every MLP fanboy ever.
But yeah, it's fun to see this side of the princesses where they're normal. They do mistakes. They do derp a lot. So they need some third party to solve their problem. And talking about solving problems, after getting a day's rest, we head to breakfast with Celestia. She made Starlight pancakes. Yay! Fruit pancakes. Ain't that nice?
Yay!
Well, clearly, however, she has not been illuminated to the wonderfulness of waffles. I mean, Sha.
No, true. Waffles are fun, especially with butter, maple syrup, and also ice cream. Not in that order, but separately, if preferably, yes.
I will experiment with this, yes.
But still, breakfast was served. And yeah, Luna comes in, grabs a pineapple, and gets out.
Oh, when she takes a bite of the pie, do you know how hard a pineapple's rind is?
I know.
She's got some strong teeth, man.
She's got to be part crocodile.
But anywho, Celestia offers Luna some pancakes. She declines and heads back to her room. And pancake goes to waste. Aww.
Because there's no one else in the palace who would benefit from a pancake.
I know.
Breakfast? Maybe a guard?
I know.
Ooh, is Kibitz in this episode? I'd love for him to get some recognition.
I know. What about Raven? She should be around. She's canon.
She's no Kibitz.
I know. Kibitz much better.
It's her morning off.
True that.
Car says.
But still, Starlight reports this to Twilight, and, well, the biasness is strong with Twilight. And later on, Starlight goes and hangs out with Luna for the night. And she discovers that, Luna does a lot of work, like putting up lavenders for the night duty palace people. And it says that, it calms them down, it like gives them feeling relaxed and whatnot. And Celestia, doesn't notice it at all. She just trots around with some dignitary telling jokes and smiles. Ooh, like that's easy. Yeah.
Are we in Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge now? Yeah. Hey, Wheeler. Yeah. You suck. Yeah.
And Starlight tells this to Twilight and decides on a plan of action, which is to straight up go up to the two princesses and tell them what's going on and hope that they could get over their problems or talk about their problems at least. And Twilight says that's a terrible idea and starts hyperventilating.
Well, technically that's true. Starlight has this character trait where she's exceptionally direct. And while people think that directness equates to, I don't know, courage or assertiveness, oftentimes it's recklessness.
Oh, true, that too. I mean, sometimes the best approach is a direct approach, but you need to read the room before going for the direct approach. And in this situation here, it was the best call of action. Anywho, we head to the next day where breakfast is served with pineapple pancakes. Yay! And I like you guys to notice something. Somebody mentioned to me on the Facebook or whatever it is, I don't remember, and them saying that when Celestia offered Luna pancakes during the first day, it had berries and strawberries, whatever it is, but Luna declined, and the fruit she picked was pineapples. The next day, Celestia offered pineapple pancakes. And that little detail there is sweet. It means that Celestia cares.
Aww.
Which she says, I care. I care. And next thing you know, it's a Care Bears crossover.
Oh god, no.
As she takes a bite out of not the banana, but the peel.
Oh wow. She's
a very appealing breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's got to be really tired. But before Luna can head off to bed, Starlight stops her and lays down the scenario. And that is, you guys are fighting with each other without even knowing it. You're hurting each other's feelings because of little minute details that, if gone unchecked, could be catastrophical. You guys need to stop it and understand one another and kind of get over this. And they have a good talk about it. And wow, a lot of, I won't say screaming, but voices were raised in this, which is kind of cool.
Loud noises!
Indeed. And Celestia and Luna saying that, all you do all day is just smile and wave and be happy. Ooh, that's simple. Yeah.
Again,
and Celestia just comments that, all I have to do is just take care of the dream realm and do actually nothing. Like, your job's much easier than mine. Like, yeah. And here we get the classic trope of a mile in my shoes kind of deal.
Although I will say Celestia sounds like a valley girl when she argues.
And to Starlight's credit, she does try to simmer the flame before it erupts into a volcano. But those two princesses, they want to throw down.
Oh, destruction all around. Pony fight off.
Yep.
Rah!
Yep. And before they could do so, Starlight casts a spell that, well, switches their cutie marks. Say what?
Well, but it commits a far greater crime.
No.
It calls the audience's attention to the royal posteriors.
Oh,
Really now?
wow.
Inappropriate.
Oh.
Most unorthodox.
Oh my.
But still, spell is cast. It lasts for 24 hours and it's irreversible. I'm sorry. But now at least you guys get to walk in each other's shoes. So have at it.
They just glare at her with death.
Yeah.
There's a royal executioner out in the courtyard. Oh, no news is good news. But I have an opening for you, Miss Starlight.
Oh, was that in Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yes.
Oh god, yeah.
And also Blazing Saddles.
Oh wow. Same director, still good. So Silver, you want to take this part here? Like, I think you'll have a blast talking about this one.
Well, we start with Luna. And she is basically fulfilling the same role she did in the Luna Micro, taking over Celestia's role, which means smiling. So much smiling.
To the point of nightmares.
To the point of, yes, her fake smile would wreck worlds. And so she goes through, she tries one, that royal executioner needs to go after whoever gave her those scissors for the opening, where they can't even cut a ribbon. And somehow Luna just gets stuck with all these really rough duties of honoring folks. Like, she can't put a medal over Thorax because of his frickin' antlers, and now she can't cut down a ribbon because of the scissors. I mean, it's just a madhouse, I tell you. A madhouse.
Yep. And I think the photographer is out to get her, man. Like, that picture there, like, out of all the time to take, like, that?
Well, yeah, when she accidentally frowns in the middle of a school field trip, some folks have commented this is almost a critique of the modern day media.
I can see that.
That they take stuff out of context and spin doctor it. Which I've heard commentary on that. And it's not untrue, but at the same time, sometimes you can't know what people are thinking from a photograph.
True. TMZ.
Oh, TMZ! We're the best of humanity. So Luna's day just ends awfully, and she's so beset, just so guilt-ridden over wrecking. One, the Canterlot papers are fast.
Yeah.
I mean, normally you get that bad news in the morning.
I think this could be the evening news. You know, like they do evening presses. Do they do that anymore?
Not in our neck of the woods.
I think they don't do here anymore. Like, I remember that being some kind of topic. I think I remember seeing it in Superman, one of those, old-timey shows. Yeah, probably that.
Why are you calling it old-timey? I'm right here. I watched it.
I watched it too. I'm just stating it down for the younger people who don't know what Betamax is.
Looking at you, Sappy.
I'm sorry, what?
We're calling you young, you youngin'.
Oh, I heard that part. I meant the previous part. Like, what are they talking about?
Have you ever heard of something called an evening press?
I've heard of it. It doesn't mean I know what it means.
I
rest my case, good people of the internet.
But one fact I do like to point out is that Luna's horn or magic around the horn is yellow instead of her blue. So, magic cutie mark affected?
She does have Celestia's magic now.
True, I guess.
So it's all good. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
But what's not so good is I think even the Timberwolves. She's dealing with some fake news. Very sad. Very sad. Saying Timberwolves are in the Whitetail Woods is very sad. I'm crying the inside.
Oh my god, Silver, no!
But I like Luna's yellow magic. It's definitely an 8. Royal Canterlot voice makes it a 9.
Oh god.
Also big fan of King Sabra. He's a fantastic ruler. Excellent golfer.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I'm waiting to see how Norman's just gonna see like, no more.
But anywho, stating that there's no threat in X location doesn't mean confidence. It means that there's definitely something wrong.
Well, that too may be a commentary on modern media. Because I was like, it's a government cover-up. Ooh, can we have a background pony named Tin Hat?
Oh wow, that'll be cool.
Maybe Canterlot has its own conspiracy theorist.
Ooh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to read.
There was no Nightmare Moon.
It was a conspiracy.
All along.
Yeah. But putting that conspiracy aside, we get to see Town Hall. Or, well, at least two ponies talking about Town Hall or something like that. I don't know. Like, the line was a bit strange. Town Hall? Really?
Town Hall meeting. Yes.
Yeah.
So there's no actual town hall. There's only a gathering, a town hall meeting.
Like, but in the palace? That's strange for me.
Well, maybe the princesses are more open than your average everyday royalty.
I guess.
I've just said average everyday royalty. That's kind of messed up.
Indeed. But anywho, after 3 hours of discussion, them boys be cool, y'all. And they be going to play golf.
For shiz. Straight up in the hood, gangsta style golfing.
Yeah, that means putt-putt.
Or that putt-putt'll school you, old school style.
And notice how Seppi's not saying anything.
No, she's pretty much given up on us. She's like, I can't handle this much whiteness.
We should get her boyfriend on this. He'll probably join us too. Yay!
Like all the cottage cheese in America saying, you're too white!
But anywho, with that meeting over, it's Celestia's turn to take care of the, country of Equestria.
Which, she pats herself a little too much on the back for raising the moon. You did it for a couple thousand years, my dear.
Yep, true. But still, she's out of practice, and she needs to get into practice. And when she asks where's Luna, Starlight just says, oh, she went to bed. And Celestia laughs. Ain't easy, eh? Taking my place? My job's hard.
Which again, you're like, dang, Celestia.
Wow.
Also still sounding like a valley girl.
I do.
Like, oh my god, Luna, my job is so totes hard.
But anywho, Celestia reads Moon and talks to herself a lot. Since, Luna works alone because everybody sleeps at night. Pause here because where are the bad ponies? Where are the night ponies? Where are they? Or is that just nightmare nights? Like, where are they?
They're all dead. Yes, no one knows about the great nightmare war of 18-2. Many a brave night guard laid down his life.
Okay, raise your hand if you think that bad ponies are real or, bad pony are real. Raise your hand, I want to know. Well, in this podcast.
Do you actually want us to raise our hand?
What if I told you I was a bat pony?
Sorry.
I say you had some bats in your belfry.
Okay, Silver, you think bad ponies are real or not?
Not. I think that they are, I think that Luna's guards just have some sort of cosmetic change.
Alright, Seppi?
Unless we count Flutterbat.
That is a vampire bat pony.
I say they're real. We have Flutterbat and the Night Guards. That's enough canon for me.
But the Night Guards haven't been around, which is really interesting. But that's besides the point. As for me, I would like to see them be real, but I'm 50-50. Like, if they're real, I'll like it, but if they're not, I'll accept it. But anywho, after Celestia tucks Starlight in bed, she comes to the realization that, Luna does work alone, and no one's there to talk with her. But she checks the list. All I have to do is raise the moon, check. Go into dreams, going to do. And stop nightmares. This is all easy. And she goes into the dream world. And in said dream world, we get to see a lot of dreams. Like Angel Bunny and Fluttershy, Flurry Heart and Cadence.
DJ Flurry Heart, is that Cadence's dream or Flurry's?
Oh wow, either or, man. Like, baby wants to rock out and mom's so proud of baby. Probably.
And then there's Point Break Gummy.
Point Break. Oh wow, I don't remember. Oh yeah, But one of my favorite one is the Time Turner. If you take a look, see at Time, yeah, if you take a look, see at Time Turner's Dream, it's a parody of Doctor Who's, the Weeping Angels. Like, don't blink. Don't blink. It's there.
They are fast. Faster than you can imagine.
Yeah. And also, we get to see, Flim and Flam being rich. Yay.
Never surprised with those two, but then, we get to see Applejack.
Oh yeah, Applejack, baby Applejack too.
Applejack with the parents.
Bravo, Applejack.
Oh, and it's, what you would call this, precursor to what they look like. Like, oh god, parents, we know how they look like, but we don't know.
Perfect pair.
Indeed. And also Derpy, or Queen Derpy to you, peasant.
Queen Derpy with straight eyes. I mean, that too makes me kind of sad. She just wants straight eyes.
Oh, but at least her.
And to conquer the world.
Not true that. Of course.
There's a thought. Maybe Queen Derpy is really Empress, Tyrant Conqueror. Celestia shifted the bubble view just to the left a little. She would have seen her and Luna made slaves before Empress Derpy.
Oh god, no. But
now that I've said it, it must be true.
Oh no. But with all this talk aside, a bubble comes flying past Celestia, and it's Starlight, and she's having a nightmare. All the pressure that she did is eating her up. Like, did she do the right thing, or is it a huge mistake? Like, she is so stressed out that it's carrying over to her dreams. That is way stress.
Well, Twilight sure didn't help with that.
Oh yeah, true.
I mean, Twilight's role in this entire episode is basically to make Starlight feel the pressure.
Yep, true that. But who can blame Twilight? Like, she is...
I can!
Okay, but Starlight here is in charge of amending the fences of whatever is going on here. And what did she do? Switch cutie marks. Great job, Starlight. Great job. If things doesn't pan out, we're screwed. But luckily for us, things does pan out. But before we get to the end, Celestia comes in to rescue Starlight, and Starlight pours her heart out, like saying that, I'm afraid that if you two carry on fighting, something bad will happen, like Nightmare Moon. And speak of the devil, she's right behind them. Nightmare Moon. And Princess Celestia says, don't worry, I know how to handle you. I faced you before, and I can face you again. Until we have a new challenger.
Daybreaker has entered the game.
Okay,
I love
I was
Daybreaker.
definitely on the fan art train with that.
I have to say that when Daybreaker came out, I flipped my, okay, Sudibot, please do something here. I flipped my...
That's not a word!
Like, what? Yo, what? This is... word escapes me. This is beyond awesome.
If I had one complaint, I would probably have to say she didn't have enough color in my taste, but other than that, hey, it was a cool design.
Yep, that is true. That is true. Silver?
I was a little sorry to see that Nightmare Star probably won't get her time in the spotlight, because I think that's a cool design as well.
True that.
But there are many ways to fall.
Yep, true that. And, well, here's the thing, Silver. Nightmare Star can still be there. This is just a figment of Starlight's dream. She may or may not be real.
Although, the fact that Celestia is kind of freaking out seeing this alternate her might imply that she's had these thoughts herself. Or at least admitted to herself if she can, if Luna can't fall, then probably she can as well.
That's true too. But that theory aside, we have to, carry on because Celestia says that, I ain't gonna turn into you. You got terrible fashion sense. And, they fight. They all fight and they fight. They fight.
They fight and 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 they fight.
Yep.
And it's so awesome.
Oh yeah, I have to give credit where credit is due. DHX Media with their animation for this one is just awesome. And the writing for, oh wow. just good. It's just so awesome. It's too awesome.
It was.
So, well, fighting, Celestia says, I can't do this alone. I need help. And she grabs Luna's help. And, well, before grabbing Luna has, her own nightmares. And, wow, it ain't pretty, yo.
Oh, we got Children of the Corn and a dentist's either best dream or worst nightmare.
Oh, wow. So, after picking her up, Luna confessed that your job is hard, it's a lot stressful than it is, and I don't know how to deal with it. The way I usually do things is I have time to think before acting. But you have to do things on the spot. This is hard. And Celestia does the same by saying, oh, I can't do this alone. I need somebody around to bounce ideas with. But your job is harder than it looks. And I need your help, Luna, to vanquish this nightmare. And yeah, Luna is treated to Nightmare Moon and Daybreaker. And she openly admits that, hey, I've been around the block a few times, but this is some crazy...
That's not a word!
I'm seeing.
It's like, what did you do, Celestia? What did you do?
You just had only one job! One job! But still...
And Starlight is just beating herself up, and I feel bad for her. Although, as one person pointed out, even in this dream realm, her shield is strong enough to block alicorn blasts. So cue everyone going, oh, Starlight is so OP.
Well, but technically this is her dream. And whatever, is a dream. Does it even really matter?
Oh, if people can raise a hoopla over Starlight, of course it matters.
Oh, God. But anywho...
Hoopla!
Hoopla! Hooray for hoopla!
But still, Luna tells Celestia that I can't do this. You have my magic. You have my powers. You're the only one that can do this, and I believe in you. And the wording phrase here is, believe in me that believes in you.
Yours is a horn that will pierce the heavens.
So, yeah, Celestia believes in Luna that believes in her, and stop the nightmares. Stop Nightmare Moon, stop Daybreaker. And everything turns out really well. And two sisters bond, and they wake up.
Great battles all around.
True that.
And when Celestia gets in between them, I mean, Daybreaker does seem the more powerful. And of course, she's also the better smack talker. Oh, so much black, we get it, you're sad. You're like one of those grimdark OCs.
Well, technically she does look like them. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I do like Nightmare Moon's design. She looks good.
I like Daybreaker's sass. It's fun.
And, oh wow, I just have to say Nicole Oliver had a lot of fun with this. But anywho, after waking up, Luna comes in with pancakes that she made. Yay! And Celestia takes a bite of it and says, oh wow, this is awesome. Blah.
I'm in flavor country.
Wait, what?
It's a very big country.
Pancakes. Can I join you?
But
really, I don't think you're old enough.
But
I'm almost 20.
Almost.
Actually, no, I will be 20 by the time this podcast comes out.
But
Ew, she's going to be 20. Oh, happy day, la-di-da.
Oh, someone's salty.
Bottom line, I'm old enough.
I prefer peppery, really. A little spice.
I love it.
But anywho.
Oh, just like one more year and you get to vote.
Oh, God.
And look who you get to vote about.
I already voted, and I voted for the other one that wasn't Trump.
But anywho, political talk aside, Luna tells Celestia, just be honest between us. Like, you don't have to pretend with me. Like, we're sisters, so you can be honest with me. And their bond strengthens and problem solved. They're not fighting with each other anymore. Their cutie mark gets switched back to normal, and Starlight's cutie mark vibrates, meaning that a job's well done. And Twilight comes in, wanting a full report. Oh, yay.
Starlight's butt vibrated.
And that immediately drew Twilight. Shipping!
Oh, wow.
Also, jumping back to the dream bubbles for a minute, we saw Twilight and Rainbow going flying together.
Yeah.
Whose dream was that?
I think Rainbow?
Oh, I don't know, but just think about that. I dreamt about you last night. We were flying together.
So anywho, after Starlight gets dragged away by Twilight, Luna just casually drops the problem to Celestia, saying that, sis, there's this field trip that needs to happen and something about Timberwolves in Whitetail Woods. See ya! That reaction from Celestia is just priceless. I like that.
Like, what?
What did you do?
Oh, we can do this in rarity. What did you do? What did you do?
But anywho, with that, episode ends. And this is awesome. Like, after rewatching this a few times, I would say this would be in my top 5 of episode of season 7.
Oh yeah, this is a great episode. I love seeing the characters like this. I love seeing everyone, just showing their best and worst.
Yep. It's a nice balance.
Nice balance. Twilight's relegated to actually, sorry, I'm jumping into closing thoughts already.
But anywho, yeah, I'm just going to say that, what do you think, Silver? Final thoughts?
Okay then. This gave a much needed look into the lives of the Royal Sisters. In a similar way to Luna's micro, but now showing a little bit of Celestia as well. We get to see a little vulnerability from Celestia, which would be expanded upon in late, we saw it earlier with Celestial Advice. We saw, I would say not as confident, but not as assured as she puts forth to the world. There are very real fears when she makes a decision. And so it's a great episode for insight. I think Starlight did a great job, and she's the only character who could do this. I was a little sorry that Twilight was relegated to only spreading panic. When everyone is better off if you're not there, that's no service to the character.
Yeah, but still, let's just say that she did bring up a few good points.
Ease. And, yeah, I think we can confirm Starlight's a little loco in the cocoa.
True that.
She's
mostly action first, let's think. And you know what? That seems to be her MO, because in a recent episode with the Changelings, do I want to even talk about that one now? Yeah, true that.
Have you not seen it yet, Safi?
Oh, I have. I'm worried about the other viewers.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, but yeah, like, her MO is not the best, but...
I was halfway across the world and I managed to catch that episode.
How did you do it?
With very, very slow internet and a YouTube video so blurry, I think that Thorax was this green blob. I thought it was the Smooze.
Oh wow, we need to talk about that one later.
Nothing can stop.
But Seppi, what about you?
That did not look right.
But Seppi, what about you? What do you think of this episode?
I'm still on Starlight's vibrating butt.
Final thoughts, by the way.
Okay, final thoughts. Anyways, I've always liked this episode. Once again, great look into Starlight's life. And what's it? Trying to think. Dog is barking in the background. I enjoy the design of Daybreaker, although I feel like it could have been added on a little bit more, considering Celestia is one of the most colorful characters, and then you just have orange and more orange and dark red.
I see what you mean.
I feel like Daybreaker's design could have been more, but anyways. I thought it was a good episode. Nice character development. Pretty much everything Silver already said, because there's not much to add on.
Alrighty then. And as for me, I like this episode a lot. Like I mentioned before, one of easily the top 5 for season 7. Like, this episode had a lot going for it. It had a lot of character development. It had a lot of interaction between Celestia and Luna. It had all those good stuff that the fans always wanted, and Hasbro gave it to us. even if it's not in the way we wanted, but still, it's at least something. And I really, really enjoyed this episode. And, well, before we head off, I need to ask you guys, like, we all read the Celestia, or was it Luna? Yeah, the Luna Micro. We all read it, right?
Yeah.
Yeet.
You guys did anyway.
Alright.
I've already read it though.
Alright. But what do you guys think compared to this one and that one?
The Celestia and Luna Micro were fine on their own. Or, bleh. I mean, like, the Luna Micro, sorry. I kinda like how Celestia actually had a contributing role in this episode. Like, it's not just, oh, Celestia's at a day spa while Luna's doing all the work because Luna needs to learn the lesson. No, it's both sisters who need to learn the lesson, and I actually kind of appreciate that with this episode.
Alright. And Silver, what about you?
Oh, I agree. I love the Luna Micro. It's one of my favorite comics of the entire franchise. So that has not changed. But it is fun to see that now Celestia is learning a similar lesson as Luna. Both of them coming to a mutual respect, which is a very different tone than simply saying, oh, it's just Luna who needs to learn this. So both come out of this looking stronger for it. And so I'd give this the nod. Plus, as great as Andy Price's artwork is and all the stuff that, he puts into it, there were just a few more visuals here that benefited from having an animated staff, one artist versus several. That's a very hard comparison.
Oh yeah, I mean in terms of story, but yeah, I do get what you mean. And well, as much as I enjoy the Luna Micro had its moment. But to me, I like the story much better. But it's apple and oranges. Same family of fruits, but different altogether.
Well, apples and pears now.
Yeah, true that. But still, I do enjoy this one compared to the comics, but the comic was enjoyable too. But what about the final issue of Friends Forever? It is a Luna and Celestia comic. What do you think about that one, Silver?
That exists.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We will talk about it soon enough.
Read it.
They share their duties. Duties.
Real mature.
We're adults.
I never claimed otherwise.
But then again, I was talking about Starlight's vibrating butt earlier, so.
But, that one highlighted how they do things differently, not necessarily how they put forth their best.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I hate to say it, but, this episode, I think it is this episode that highlighted Celestia couldn't monitor Pony's dreams while Luna was away, which kind of invalidates, part of the final Friends Forever. Because in that, Celestia says, I did dream duty and I was nowhere near this showy. And just think, huh.
Well, they do say that the comic canon is tier B, so, I don't know.
I was just sorry for that because I thought, I liked, Andy Price, who both wrote and drew that comic. I liked his take on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Hasbro did greenlit it, so, well, when we reach that comic review, we'll talk about it more in depth. But yeah, I'm just wondering because since the princesses are not usually the limelight of stories, so I was just wondering, what do we think? Once we get to those comics, we'll talk about them in full. But anywho, we have finished this review here. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us till the end. I do hope that you enjoy our little review. It's been a while. We're rusty if you haven't noticed, but still, we're getting back into the groove. So anyway, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/MBS show. And with every support, you get early access to the review and discussion podcast, also deleted contents and exclusives. And a huge thank you from me. And talking about thank yous, I'd like to thank Lurker Cat, Nemdragotorius, Starstream, and also myself, Lag. Thank you so much, guys, for the awesome support. So anyway, I have been Roman Sanzo.
I am the Silver-Quill.
I'm in a crazy, noisy, bizarre town.
And we'll guys see you next week with another amazing review. See ya.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
I forgot to mention what we'll be reviewing next week. If you guys stick around till this part, we'll review issue 51 to 53 of Friendship is Magic comic.